On July 7, 2018, at 10:28 in the morning, Shanghai Yasheng Hotel. Tao Mu stepped on the edge of the roof. Hot summer, strong wind hunts. When you lower your head slightly, you can see a long red dragon composed of red supercars in the middle of the city cut by reinforced concrete, slowly approaching the hotel along the winding streets. Tao Mu fixedly stared at the convoy. His eyes seemed to penetrate the cold red iron sheet, and he saw Shen Yu and the Shen family sitting in the wedding car. The cell phone in his pocket kept croaking. Tao Mu answered the call blankly. Demao's crying pleading came down the receiver. "Brother Mu, I beg you, can we think about it again? Don't you be so impulsive." "I'm not impulsive." Tao Mu lowered his head. All the living beings under his feet were like ants, and the wind was violent in his ears, and he could vaguely see the wedding scene and the crowds arranged downstairs. "I thought it over," Tao Mu said with certainty. He hooked up the corners of his mouth playfully. "You said, what will the Shen family look like when they see my corpse?" He was really curious. In order to protect Shen Yu as an outsider, the Shen family, who would not hesitate to criticize his own son, who was indifferent and relatively blatant, would regret driving him out of the Shen family when they saw his bones. "Brother Mu." Demao's disapproval pleading came in his ears, and Tao Mu turned a deaf ear. "Speaking of which, I would like to thank you for venting to me. If it weren't for you, I would have been fooled by Zhao Yan's bastard. I'm really puzzled. What is so good about Shen Yu's little white face? When one or two met him, he seemed to be fascinated by ghosts. You said Zhao Yan has been with me for 3 or 4 years? In order to please me, he did not give Shen Yu less. Xuanzi? Why did you suddenly feel affectionate for that little white face at this moment, and dare to play infernal affairs in front of me?" "Brother Mu." "But it's okay. It always lets me know that there is nothing to miss in this neurotic world." Tao Mu chuckled. Really can't understand why everyone he cares about will eventually fall in love with Shen Yu's dove occupying the magpie's nest. Guy. Why don't you have anything to miss? Brother Mu, you are rich and capable and you look so handsome. There are so many good people waiting for you in this world. Why are you hanging to death for such a rotten tree? Demao pleaded bitterly. I really don't understand why Tao Mu has come to this point. Where are you? Stop making trouble, okay? No kidding? Tao Mu sneered. Wang Yi, are you bothering me too? You don't think I should make money with Shen Yu? But why, after all, he is the son of the Shen family. Everything that Shen Yu has should belong to. He just wanted to regain his own things, so that Shen Yu, the proud son of heaven, could also taste the humiliation and suffering he had suffered. How could he be guilty of great evil? Wang Yi was taken aback. For so many years, Tao Mu had never called him by his name in a private chat. A deep anxiety arose in Wang Yi's heart. Don't change the subject, Tao Mu, you know I won't hate you. I will never hate you in my life. We are good brothers, including Xiapeng and Feng Yuan, all of us, have always been on your side. 2. Tao Mu was willing to believe what Wang Yi said. It's a pity that people who like him have no good end. Maybe the Shen family is right, Tao Mu is a disaster star. The closer you are to him, the more unlucky. Zhao Yan wanted to frame me for shorting, and I was scheming. Now it is him who lost more than $1 billion in shorting. By the way, before I left, I even kicked his life. It is estimated that he will spend the rest of his life. I'm going to stay in jail and become a eunuch. You remember to take care of it and let Zhao Yan stay in a jail with Zhou Yuan. It is also considered that I helped Xiapeng get revenge. Tao Mu chuckled and looked up at the scorching sun. The sun today is also very big, especially like the sunny day when he learned that he was the son of the Shen family back then. I have 40 million left in my account. 10 million of them helped me get to the account of the orphanage. The other 10 million, and my few properties in Shanghai, when Feng Yuan comes out of the prison, help me to give him. Tell him, it is my brother who is sorry for him. There is still 20 million left, you keep it for yourself. The money is not much, even if it's a little intention of being a brother. After all, your company has just started. I can't help you much. Also, I have repaired the graves of Xiaoping and the Dean. Do you remember to give them a few sticks of incense every King Ming? Tao Mu. Wang Yi on the other side of the phone was furious. Where are you? Why don't you talk nonsense to me? I don't want to listen. I want to know where you are right now. Demao, Tao Mu interrupted Wang Yi, since I still treat me as a brother, just listen to my last words. No one cares when I am alive, and I don't want to be unhappy after death. Remember, in my life, since I was not recognized by the Shen family when I was alive, there is no need to enter the Shen family grave when I die. Let me sit on a new grave next to Xiaoping and the Dean. I bought the cemetery myself. No one cares about you? Who says no one recognizes you? Actually, you don't. I know, the Shen family and Shen Yu care about you. Haven't you always been curious about how I found Zhao Yan betrayed you? Then I tell you, Shen Yu Tao Mu. Hearing Tao Mu's last words, Wang Yi was furious and frustrated. You don't want to be horny, okay? Who said personally told me? Tao Mu was startled when he heard the words. Demao's voice came from the other end of the phone. Shen Yu said that Zhao Yan pestered him like crazy, and said something crazy that would make you punished. Shen Yu was worried about your accident, so he quietly notified me and reminded you. He was afraid. You were angry, and you sternly told us not to tell you. And just when we were doing Zhao Yan, the Shen family and Shen Yu's friends dug up Zhao Yan, adding chaos to him everywhere, so that he didn't have the energy to pay attention to our actions. In other words, Tao Mu was able to successfully fight back against Zhao Yan, the person next to his pillow, Shen Yu and his admirers, and the Shen family who had kicked him out of the Shen family. Ha 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 ha. Tao Mu laughed, covering his face. This Shen Yu, as expected, is still such a Virgin Mary who is showing grace everywhere. But why does Tao Mu have to bear Shen Yu's kindness? Do you think I should lead him to love? Tao Mu shouted hysterically on the rooftop, but don't forget, if it weren't for him, Shen Yu Jiu, who occupied the magpie's nest, Tao Mu wouldn't have today. It's him. Taking my life, he owes me. There is also the Shen family. If you look down on me, why bother to take care of me? Is it because Shen Yu begged them to take action? Did they really forget who was their own son? A gust of wind blew across the rooftops. Tao Mu's heart suddenly tightened, and the pain was suffocated. You are right, I am just horny, I just can't figure it out. Why do you all like Shen Yu? Why should I replace Shen Yu has been tortured so much? Why is Shen Yu doing everything wrong to me? How am I inferior to him? Tao Mu was almost roaring and venting at the end. Tao Mu. Stop talking, I don't want to listen. Tao Mu forcefully threw the phone out, looking downstairs with red eyes, and took a step forward. In fact, his whole life has been very confused. The eldest young master who was born with a golden key in his arms was taken by mistake because of the negligence of the hospital. Abandoned by her adoptive mother who can't endure hardship, she grew up in an orphanage. She finally recognized her ancestor and returned to her ancestry. The Shen family resented him in every possible way. Even if they fell in love, Zhao Yan's could also empathize. Everyone complained that his character was too stubborn and unflattering, saying that he couldn't see through, couldn't afford to lose, reluctant, and couldn't let go. But everyone forgot. What he couldn't see through was fate, what he couldn't afford to lose was luck, what he couldn't bear was blood relationship, what he couldn't let go was everything he should have. The wedding team composed of red supercars slowly stopped at the hotel entrance. Surrounded by relatives, friends, media reporters and a large number of fans on both sides, the Chinese first-line superstar who had just won the laurel of the actor, Shen Yu, the adopted son of the Shen Group, and his same-sex partner, the international 3-gold actor Yan Sheng, walked out of the wedding car with a smile. Stand together in front of the long red carpet. The media reporters and fans who had been waiting outside the hotel swarmed up in spite of the bodyguards' obstruction, and the flashing lights shone into a silvery white ocean in front of them. At a wedding scene comparable to a red carpet show, fans' screams almost penetrated the sky to reach the heavens. Shen Yu, we love you. It must be happy. Shen Yu, you deserve the best of everything. Yan Sheng, you must take good care of our prince. With the sincere blessings of all relatives, friends and fans, the exquisite, elegant and noble new actor, like a little prince in a fairy tale, smiled and held his partner's arm with a smile on his back. At the same time, the handsome and mature Yan Sheng lowered his head and looked at his life favorites tenderly and dozingly. The way the two smiled at each other was cherished and photographed by the media reporter. Not surprisingly, this scene will continue to hang on the headlines of the domestic entertainment section in the next few days. However, just as the two newcomers slowly walked onto the red carpet surrounded by new friends and all the fans, a loud noise broke the happy and sweet atmosphere in front of them. A figure in a white suit fell from the sky and slammed it upright on the red carpet near the front end of the steps. The distance seemed to have been carefully calculated. Soon, blood that was even brighter than the red carpet scattered, and the shocking red blurred the flesh and blood of the original white suit. As far as his eyes can be, a living person has ended his life in the cruelest way. All the guests and fans who attended the wedding were screamed unpreparedly. The dedicated media reporters reacted immediately and swarmed forward to take pictures. Only the Shen family surrounded by Shen Yu thought of something, and their expressions changed. Mother Shen, who has always been pampered and elegant, pushed a group of reporters away and staggered into the crowd. After a while, a stern cry came from the frequent shutter sound and flashing light, "Zhou Mu. That Tao Mu is really disgusting. Even if he died, he would not let our little prince go. He jumped from the hotel on the wedding day and was frightened to make our prince unconscious and hospitalized. Why did the author write such a plot? It is simply sugar mixed with shit." Who is talking? Vicious cannon fodder. The main role is to promote the development of the plot. If it weren't for such a character, this book would be a brainless sweet pet essay, and there would be no ups and downs in the plot. 100 dead now, but this book is almost over. Really a bit reluctant. Vicious cannon fodder ... promotes the development of the plot ... Is it talking about me? Actually, thinking about it carefully, Tao Mu's personality is also pretty good. Even if he hates the prince, he is still rough and tough. Moreover, it is just right every time, which not only makes the plot better, but also makes the feelings of attacking further. It's a assist. To be honest, I am a little bit reluctant to let this cannon fodder go offline. What is this? On July 7, 2008, H Studio City. There is no wind in the hot weather. Costume dramas have been popular in the past 2 years. The heavy costumes are worn on the body, and the headgear is covered to air tightly. Sweat drips down the face, and the clothes are dried by the hot sun, leaving light white sweat stains on the clothes. It feels like it is. Hey, have you heard? The small group acting for Shen Yu as a military substitute beat director Liu yesterday. In a public restroom of H Film City, the male group actors who were discharging water glanced at the empty restroom and couldn't restrain the gossip. Ah. Can't it? Another group performer pretended to be surprised and made a fuss. Director Liu is the casting director of this play. I heard that he is a relative of director Chen. He is a martial artist who dares to offend the deputy director and doesn't want to. Did you mix in the crew? As he said, he shook his head with regret. Hey. Newcomer, young and energetic, just too impulsive. You look down on people? The previous gossip actor Jia snorted. I tell you, this newcomer is not ordinary. I heard that after he beat him up so badly, he also took a fruit photo of Director Liu. Threatening Director Liu if he dared to make a moth again, he would post the photo on the internet. Liu was so scared that he knelt on the ground and kowtowed him. You didn't see you. This morning, Director Liu made special arrangements for him. It's a lounge. Although it's a common room, it's much better than our corpse-laying dragon sleeves. The newcomers now have powerful methods. Can't, right? The second general of the group was skeptical. Isn't that kid just graduating from high school? He's only 18 years old, and the same age as the actor in this drama. Can he have so many scheming? You don't know this? The group actor who shared the gossip with his colleagues sneered, subconsciously lowered the volume, and said mysteriously, I heard that the kid is an orphan. He has been working outside since he was a child. I've been mixed up. I heard that I've also been to high-end clubs and nightclubs. Think about it, he came out in that kind of place just because of his face. The group actor Yi nodded tacitly. Thinking of Tao Mu's handsome and aggressive facial features, whether it was out of jealousy or something else, he followed the gossip with a bit of unpleasantness. According to you, since this kid has mixed up in nightclubs and clubs, it may not be so innocent. In that case, why didn't he agree to Director Liu? Group actor A cut, and he was a head taller than group actor B, allowing him to look at group actor B condescendingly. That's stupid. I didn't say it, just relying on that kid's face, thinking what kind of gold master can't find? He is trying to mislead himself for the kind of Liu fatty. Besides, I look at that kid, he should be straight, and may not be willing to walk this dry road. If people are willing to go to the sea, they should also be looking for a rich woman. If he is coaxed on the bed, maybe people can still hold him as a leading actor. Boom. There was a loud noise suddenly behind him, and the door of the innermost compartment of the bathroom was kicked open, and it bounced back against the wall studded with tiles. The two group performers who were gossiping shuddered and peed directly on the costumes. Who? I really want to scare me to death. Before they could finish speaking, the two of them saw the figure walking out from the bottom of the toilet. Their eyes widened in embarrassment, and they blurted out, "Why are you here? Hurry back for the first 7 days." Tao Mu chuckled, his voice lazy and cynical. Dark eyes swept over the two of them carelessly, and a playful smile appeared on the handsome faces. Otherwise, you all seem to have seen a ghost. The 18-year-old boy was supposed to be as clear as a bowl of boiled water in the sun, and it was pure to make people look at the bottom at a glance. However, Tao Mu has always been lingering around his body with a hostile spirit that does not belong to his age. So much so that he just stopped there with a smile, and the two self-proclaimed and well-informed group performers were somewhat reluctant to say anything, as if it was not a person standing in front of him, but a head that could be injured at any time. Human wild leopard. Beautiful, powerful, and very aggressive. You don't mess around. Thinking of Tao Mu's way of dealing with Fatty Liu, the two groups had a heartbreak, and said bitterly, I tell you, the crew hates troublemakers the most. Before he finished speaking, Tao Mu passed them and walked straight to the wash basin, lowering his head and washing his hands. Then, without looking at them, he turned around and went out. The two group actors looked at each other, and then they were relieved, as if they had come to life. The previous group performer who kept going gossip spit on the ground and said cursingly, "What's so great, pretending to be powerful? It's not just a runaway group performance." Yes, what quality? They are both 18 years old. This is far worse than the young master of the Shen family. Another group performer also echoed unconvincingly, deserves him to be Shen Yu for the rest of his life. Stand in for you.